What sparked the development of Atlantia was an idea that was born in APC, Microbiome Institute in University College Cork.
Food companies were approaching the university at the time to do their clinical trials, and it really wasn't the primary remit of the centre. So we recognised the opportunity and decided we'd give it a go and spin Atlantia out.
Initially, it was Professor Fergus Shanahan, Professor Timothy Dinan, Andrea Doolan, our CEO, and Sally Cudmore, who was the centre's manager of the APC at the time.
The particular aspect that sparked the development of Atlantia at the time was the introduction of new legislation which required that any food product that was going to make a health claim on pack had to do clinical trials to substantiate the claim that they were making. So we saw a big gap in the market at the time because it was something that the clinical CROs weren't set up properly to do.
We started working with Kieran Moynihan. He was the CIT entrepreneur in residence, and he's now the chairman of our board. And he very much helped us in the early days developing the business plan and getting the idea out there.
I was a former founder CEO myself of a technology company, and at the time I was helping University College Cork in terms of their spin-outs, and it was really exciting to work with Andrea and Sally Cudmore and the team who were supporting the clinical trials in UCC. So I've been really blessed and fortunate to be there from the very start in Atlantia's journey and still there today.
Well, the early days of Atlantia were all about dealing with food industries and companies that had previously been very fearful of trying to establish health claims for their products. And Atlantia stepped into the gap there and assisted them and provided expert service and conducted and effected the clinical trials for companies that had never done a clinical trial in the past.
When I started, I had an office in APC in University College Cork, and I was given a laptop and a list of 6 contact companies, and that's where I was told to build from there, really.
It was the first service company essentially that spun out at the university, so we were blazing a trail in that context. The company initially was based in the incubation unit of the university's innovation office.
We had 2 rooms. One was the clinic room and one was the office, so it was tight quarters, but there was only 3 of us there. That expanded into 4 after a few months, and the 5th person came on board a few months after that again. So we had to move. So that was our next move, was to Blackrock. I think we moved with 5 people, and we left Blackrock with 25 people, moving to our current location here in Cork.
I think, like with a lot of other companies, when you start, it's very much on a small scale. But in order to grow the business, you really need to look at opportunities within the industry that support your growth. And certainly from our perspective, using technology to develop the business and support the running of the clinical trials, hiring key team members who bring that strength and knowledge to the business, whether it's from an operational perspective, financial perspective, marketing perspective. It's very important that you build on what you already have.
We decided to pick a market, an expansion market. The US was picked because it's English speaking, the Irish are generally liked. We opened a clinic in Chicago, a small clinic, and we had 2 trials running there. After the initial trials completed, we decided to move into a larger office, and actually what came on market was quite a large space. So we have 7,500 square feet of clinic space that includes labs, phlebotomy, offices and waiting areas. And just as we signed that lease, of course, COVID hit. So we went to ground in the US. Now it's back up and running, and my job is to build that market even further.
Atlantia expanded their portfolio, increased the number of customers coming to them, and expanded beyond the food industry, but always with the same rigor of expertise and scientific rigor for the conduct of the trials.
Atlantia has really gone from strength to strength over the last 10 years. The initial days where there were 3 of us in an office together to now 85 employees today. I think that has been a fantastic trajectory, and I see huge growth potential there over the next decade as well.
I'm very proud of the fact that 10 years later, we're now 85 plus employees, sites in Cork and Chicago. I'm confident that the service we deliver to our clients is at the highest possible standard.
We truly are a global provider now at the level and standards that is required by our global clients.